And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a good show lined up. We're going to be going over how our government has been like our biggest enemy with crypto. But things are changing right now. I'm going to show you the three biggest reasons why we have issues with the crypto price. Look, for the past 4 years, the United States has been hammered down. Okay, totally hammered down by crypto bad regulations. Any company that's tried to invent, innovate, make a better way with crypto, oh, no, got to get rid of that company. That's all that's been going on. We've had companies that decide to pack up and just go overseas. So one of the reasons why these cryptos are getting hammered so bad is because for the past 4 years, the government hasn't done anything to help crypto. Well, that's all changed when Trump gets in office. So we can see already Trump making arrangements with the SEC, Trump telling the Federal Reserve to cool off, and these kinds of things. We're going to go over this in Crypto Hulk today. We're going to look at why are we crypto poor? And the answer would be because the past 4 years, all the United States has done is beat up on crypto. It's pretty much that easy right there. So let's take a look here. We got Dana. Thank you very much for the tax-free donation. Who are the first 5 people here? We got G.I. Joey, XRP Flea, Issa, Victory V, and Stephen Morris right there. My name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't sell anything I tell you to sell. Just watch the show for information purpose only. And let us start this thing. What I want to start off with first is I got a crypto yesterday. And I went to my sponsor, Caleb and Brown. And let me get this little thing set up here. Let me click that one. I went ahead and got another HBAR. And we're going to go over some reasons why I picked HBAR. Let me just set this one up here. What I want to do is we're going to look at Seals Q and HBAR. Robert Driscoll, thank you very much. I'm calling HBAR as your crypto. Yeah. Over the past month, I've been looking at cryptos each day. I've been making news articles each day, and all I'm seeing busting a very important move is Seals Q working with HBAR. I think probably the first thing I wanted to look at really quick was if you go right here, if you type in Seals Q completes testing, Seals Q completes testing. Seals Q, a WiseKey subsidiary focused on post-quantum security, has completed testing of its QS 7001 secure chip and is initiating certification for its Q4 2025 release, aiming to protect blockchain infrastructures and cryptocurrency wallets from quantum computing threats. Bam, right there. That article there is just what I did is here. I'm reading the AI. I'm reading the artificial intelligence. I typed in Google, Seals Q completes testing. Now, Seals Q is a division of WiseKey. And what we got here is Seals Q is a microchip company that is utilizing the software of Hedera. What we have here is they have a chip. It's called a QS7001. And they were testing this chip to see if it would work against a quantum attack. It's initiating its certification right now. And what's going to happen around October, November, December, somewhere in that time frame is where they're going to release it. Now, we're early right now. It's April 2nd. Right now, this is just my belief. The way I've been looking at cryptos, it's almost like it don't matter. Cryptos could run the world and the prices will still be low. So that's all manipulated market price. What I've done over the past month is look at cryptos because I get my allowance like the second of or the first of every month. So I can look into crypto and see, okay, which crypto do I want to buy or whatever. And overwhelmingly, I'm just seeing Seals Q working with HBAR. And I'm like, dang, that's this crypto, the use case is phenomenal. They want to stop a quantum attack. Or they want to protect hardware wallets, computers, satellites, and stuff from a quantum hack. So let's see, John T. I started with HBAR and XDC and then went to the others. So I have all three and getting more HBAR now. Yeah, I mean, my first purchase, I got 75% of my allowance left. And my first 25% were just, without a doubt, I'm like, HBAR. At 16, 17 cents. Now, it used to be about 35. If everything goes back to the way it was, I just doubled my money. But in the long term, like, I just don't care. What I'm looking at is HBAR and Seals Q are going to release their quantum chip around October, November, December. And the world is going to see the use case for that. From what I'm guessing, it should have tremendous demand. But I know how the manipulated markets go, so they're probably going to do stuff to keep the price as low as they can, which I'll just keep accumulating. Eventually common sense wins, right? So common sense knows that really good crypto with a good use case is going to be successful. So that's all that I care about. Whether I make money in 3 months from now or 6 months or next year, like all I'm doing is stacking right now. Every month I get a paycheck, I get my allowance, and then I look for what cryptos I want. I buy them up, boom, 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 gone. Wait till next month. That's what I'm doing. I'm able to get cryptos now. The HBAR, I'm able to get it at 17 cents, not 35 like it used to be. There was a time when HBAR was hitting 35, then people thought it was going to 50 cents or $1. But again, I'm not looking at HBAR being $1. I mean, I need it like $500 or $1,000 to do what I need to do financially. So let's take a little look here real quick. I'm going to show you a couple Seals Q articles. First off, let me do this. Let me show the Seals Q HBAR connection. Let me do a copy. Seals Q. Okay, what do we got here? Seals Q partnering with Hedera in the next generation of post-quantum semiconductors. So they're semiconductors right now, but not post-quantum semiconductors. That's what's going to set all this apart. Seals Q Corporation, a company that focuses on developing and selling semiconductors, PKI, and post-quantum technology hardware and software products, today announced a strategic partnership with Hedera to deliver next-generation quantum-resistant semiconductors, integrating cutting-edge security solutions to protect critical infrastructures. In the emerging post-quantum world, Seals Q has commenced or started the quality and functional testing. Here we go. This was back. So they're announcing here they're going to be testing the Seals Q. Now, this article is December of last year, 2024. So it took them December, January, February, March. They're all done testing. Nice. Now they're going to get certified. It says here, remains on track to begin production and delivery in 2025. We're now hearing October, November, or December. These microchips are going to get released. They completed their testing, and they are starting certification for blockchain infrastructure and crypto wallets. Okay? When I'm hearing all this, it's very exciting. Seals Q is making partners all throughout Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. They're partnering with a company called Ozdison. Ozdison covers Turkey, Egypt, and Greece. It focuses on industrial applications and automotive electronics. Seals Q partnered up with a company called DTDS Technology, serving India, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. They're specializing in embedded systems. Next, Seals Q joined up with Stello Technology. They're operating in France, Spain, and Italy. They're offering customized solutions for industrial and automotive sectors. So far, we're hearing a couple partnerships in the automotive area. Next, Seals Q partnered up with a company called Nexus GT, based in Israel. Oh, specializing in high-tech and semiconductor solutions. Now, after that, I'm going to wrap up the Seals Q on the Hedera. You can buy it on my Caleb and Brown link. Let me give you this right now. I bought mine. I'm only buying at Caleb and Brown. I have a hardware wallet that I've had for 4 or 5 years. It's not quantum safe that I'm aware of. Not saying there's going to be a quantum attack or anything like that. I'm just saying it doesn't have quantum protection. And that's what Seals Q is bringing right here. So I went into my Caleb Brown account and looked, and I had a choice of getting all different kinds of cryptos that Caleb Brown has for sale. Now, Caleb Brown is institutional custody. 2,000 banks trust Fireblocks. Caleb and Brown utilizes what's called Fireblocks for custody. 2,000 banks and financial institutions all around the world trust Fireblocks also. I'm trying to be a part of the banks and financial institutions. I'm not trying to be some guy way over here with this hardware wallet. I want to be protected just like the banks and financial institutions. That's a very good feeling to have. Now, you can buy your crypto from Caleb Brown, send it off to a hardware wallet. I have one. I'm not against hardware wallets. I believe, for me personally, I kind of like to split up my crypto. When I first started buying crypto, I used a hardware wallet. It's still there. But now, since I joined up with Caleb and Brown as an affiliate, I'm letting all my crypto sit in institutional custody. I like that. To me, it's a good feeling to know. So I chose today that particular crypto for all those reasons why, the HBAR. And let me check some comments here, and we'll go on to the next news article. We got nobody. Nobody's been a member for 4 months at the 2024 crypto explosion. I was rummaging through my phone yesterday and went to software info, scrolled down to security software, and found something interesting. It said, in quotes, FIPS and then S crypto V2.5. What do you make of that? I have no idea what in the world that is, but you could do a search on the internet, just highlight FIPS, like what you just sent me. You'd highlight that, put it in a Google search, and go look it up. So yeah, just highlight whatever you just sent without the quotes, put it in a Google search, and look it up and see what it means. But I have no idea. It means Federal Information Processing Standard State Code. FIPS is a U.S. Federal Information Processing Standard to identify U.S. states. The standard superseded FIPS 1987 and was superseded in 2008 by ANSI. The codes are used in geographic names. I don't know what all that is. But that was like, I think, Wikipedia. Alrighty then, let's go to the first article here. The BRICS. Oh man. So we got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Let me go here. Let me show you what we got going on with BRICS. Okay, so let me explain. BRICS is a combination of Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa. Okay. And what it is, it's a formation of countries that have joined together. The belief is the three-letter agency, Central, and I can't say intelligence, and I can't say agency, that they created it. I don't know why. I'm not really interested. But yet this group, I think it was started in 2003 or 2007 or something, or somewhere in there. Vigil member for a month at the 2024 crypto explosion says, yay me. So the BRICS was supposed to, from what I've seen, I don't know much about it. I'm not a history buff. I haven't studied it. Just from the little that I've seen on the internet, BRICS was supposed to be a group of countries. This is what I've seen over the past 5 years in crypto. BRICS was like a group of countries that were supposed to come up with their own crypto and destroy the dollar. So we've heard the horror stories. Oh God, the BRICS, they're making this new crypto, and this shit never happened yet. The belief was that, the BRICS are going to take over and stop using the US dollar and everything. And well, I guess from what I'm looking at, that's all falling apart. And I'm going to tell you why. Nobody wants anybody else's money. It's not how it goes. Russia doesn't want India's money. India doesn't want Mexico's money. Do you see the point there? So having a trading system where you're using your local money of the country that you're in, people don't want your fucking money. They want the currency that's going to be accepted everywhere, that is going to help make them rich or whatever. That's valuable. They want a currency that just stays at the same price. Now, traditionally, that's been the United States dollar for like the past 50 years. Look, when countries are trading, it's too difficult to try to figure out, okay, you want 3 million rupees of this, convert it into, like, no. People want this shit easy. You want oil or you want a car? It costs this much dollars. What we have to have is a system where everybody, now here's the thing. If you have a system like Ripple already has since 2013, the Ripple Singapore, see, no other channel knows about this, so I can speak on stuff that no other channel has. That's the benefit of having Crypto Hulk as your researcher, is I come up with evidence that no other channel has. Traditionally, who's ever in power, that's the money you use, okay? Well, Ripple started something in 2013-14. It's called Ripple Singapore. And what they had is gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. They had securities, commodities, all these things in a liquidity hub type of a thing. It was tested. It was flawless, and it works great. It was a project that's been kept quiet. No, that's why no other channel knows. And I'll show you here the evidence for that in a little bit. What Ripple did back in 2013 is invent Ripple Singapore, and it was a way to transfer value all around the world in 2 to 5 seconds. The reason I say, the reason I'm saying this is that when you're transferring money all around the world, you can't be dealing with conversion factors. All that stuff costs money. What if, what if you had a way to convert everything in 2 to 5 seconds, whether it's you have a stock and you want to buy something, whether you have the dollar and you want to convert it into Japanese yen. What if you have a commodity like gold and you want to buy something and convert it? All that stuff's great, but it costs money to do all this, right? But what if, like in 2013, Ripple did this? What if you could convert everything for like 0.00004 cents? Like, it's pretty much free. And what if you could do that in 2 seconds? You'd have a system that the whole world would want to use, wouldn't you? Now, what if in 2014 you had somebody by the name of Evan Schwartz, Stefan Thomas, that worked for Ripple? What if you had those two guys and they gave the internet and the world the interledger protocol, which is how Ripple converts? Michael David says, facts, facts, facts. There you go. Because what I'm saying with all this what if is it has already happened. You already have Ripple's interledger protocol built into the internet since 2014. The world has been waiting. Countries just have been stubborn to accept and to go with this cryptocurrency. This is what's taken so long. These BRICS nations, nobody wants anybody else's money. But if you have think about this now, if you're utilizing a Ripple liquidity hub that can do everything that I just told you, then it makes it easy, doesn't it? When I don't have to hold money from all different countries, I could send you money and it converts into, let's say I could send you money and it could convert into Hewlett Packard stock. I could send you money. I could send you pesos, and on your end, it's going to come out Porsche stock. You could own stock in Porsche. Okay, that's how all this goes. That's Ripple Singapore with commodities, securities, fiat, crypto, gold, silver, and you have a wallet. That wallet's going in your phone. Why? Because Ripple already had wallets figured out in 2014. So Crypto Hulk, like all this stuff was already done, basically, technology. Yeah, pretty much. It's all done. Ripple Singapore, I just told you. You had wallets, a hub where you could transfer all kinds of things. If you wanted real silver, real gold, it was held at what's called the safe house. By the way, Porsche accepts crypto. I did not know that. Oh, man. Oh, jackpot. So let's look at some evidence here. I want to show you how all this stuff played out. In this article right here, let's do a copy paste. Porsche. My Infinity lease is going to be coming up, I think, January, February, March of next year. So I wanted a different vehicle to lease, and I'm going to have to look into what vehicle that'll be. Maybe a Porsche, but not the something like a Macan S or something would be like what I'd want. I just wanted to let all you know that that's why they see doing for the whole system. Ragnar Lothbrok, member for 20 months. At the 2024 crypto explosion, your prediction of something coming spring 2025 seems really good right now. Your prediction came a year ago. You know, I was saying something like May of this year for like the past couple of years. But then you got Russia backs out. See, their whole reason was because all these things were going to happen. But since the past 2 years, when I made the prediction, that's May of 2025, something really big in crypto. And I'm not saying crypto is taking off. I said something really big in crypto. That could mean they outlaw hardware wallets. That could be. So something big could be something you don't like. Okay, so I just said something big is going to happen in crypto in the next 2 years. And that was about 2 years ago. In 2023, I was talking about this. But since then, what happened? Well, Russia backed out. They were supposed to release a crypto, weren't they? Yeah. They said, we got to wait 6 more months. What happened with the Federal Reserve? They were already supposed to go ISO 20022. Well, they backed out of that one too. So I can only push my prediction back then 3 to 6 months. So that's what I'm doing. If I see Russia supposed to jump off and set off this crypto, they're not doing that anymore. They said, we'll give it till around August or December. Well, then my prediction stuff, it can't, I have no control over what these people do. And it's not really a prediction. What I did was look at in the future, what do I see happening? Then make a prediction on what I think I see happening. But when these other people change the dates, change the timelines and stuff, well, then I got to change mine, because if they're not going to release crypto in the Federal Reserve or the ISO, then if they're going to postpone that 3 months, and I'm going to postpone mine 3 months. So May goes June, July, August, anywhere from August to December of this year then. Because they're gonna keep changing the goalposts for themselves, then I got to change my goalposts. That's all. It's not even a big deal. So we have this article here. Let me take a look here. I'm going to breeze through these truth bombs real quick. Copy and paste. I want you to see. It's just like this. Okay, there's the article right there. BRICS, new country rejects local currency for oil. They want US dollars. Not every country is falling in line with the BRICS agenda of replacing the US dollar with local currencies. Even Saudi Arabia, next paragraph, which announced that it would accept local currencies for oil payments, has only been receiving the US dollar for transactions. Only a few trades have been settled in local currencies. Only a few trades have been settled in local currencies. What I heard 2-3 years ago when the Biden administration was out there destroying the fucking dollar and the relationships with all these countries, what I heard years ago on this news, what is this, Watcher Guru? Okay, on Watcher Guru, not that it's their fault, they're reporting news. So when all these countries are saying, oh, we're going to leave the dollar and do this and that, that's what these countries were saying. And now all of a sudden, these countries are not saying that. And I wanted you to see that, okay? Now, BRICS, let's take it all the way back to 2014. Let's do a copy and a paste. I'm going to show you evidence nobody shows. I'm not saying they can't get it. I'm just saying they don't show this. And this is what I show consistently right here. Latin America's largest Ripple gateway launches in Brazil. So we've got Mexico, Peru, Uruguay, all that stuff's Latin America, okay? Latin America's, this isn't just Mexico. This is like all these Latin American countries, like 8 of them. They launched the latest Ripple gateway in Brazil. You know when this was? 11 years ago. This article is from 11 years ago. What's the name of the gateway, Crypto Hulk? It's called RIPPEX, RIPPEX. 11 years ago. If we look down here, they're talking about these Latin American countries, Ripple's helping, and if it lists the names, Argentina. So Ripple was in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Peru, and Uruguay with a gateway called RIPPEX. We're talking 2014, everybody. Ripple was there. Now Ripple has a lot of subsidiaries. Oh man. One of them is called the International Ripple Business Association. Let me show you here what no other channel shows you because they don't have this information. What we have right here is the IRBA, the International Ripple Business Association. And that's at the 3-second mark. If we go to the 4-second mark, you can see that this is dated July 3rd, 2015. If you go to the 24-second mark, you can see Brazil, and what's right above Brazil? RIPPEX, RIPPEX. That is the Ripple on and off ramp that is in Brazil and all those other Latin American countries, Argentina, Uruguay, Mexico. This right here is the evidence right there. Now, Brazil is the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Next, we're going to look at Russia. Russia is also a Ripple partner from 2014. Let's take a look at that. I'm just going to breeze through all this just to show you that all that BRIC stuff is dumb shit. Here's Ripple Russia right there. 46-second mark. Go to the 46-second mark. It shows the Ripple logo. Then it says the word Ripple. And then RU. That's the country code for Russia. Now, it does have a video right there. If you look back at my posts, my YouTube page, and look for the posts section, you can see that video actually works. But there's your evidence that Ripple was a Russia partner back in 2014. Now, India, because you got BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China. Here's your evidence that Ripple is so in deep with India. This is just one piece of evidence. I'm not here to make a court case on every single evidence I have with India. Here's the title: Google-backed payment company Ripple. Wow, that's pretty big. They're talking here about the National Payments Corporation of India. So we know that Ripple is already in the country of India with their payments system, because there's the evidence there, because they're a Google-backed company. Lastly, China. China is also part of this BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Here's your evidence here in 2013. How did Ripple as a startup company, let me ask you this, how did Ripple as a startup company hook up with China and make their cryptocurrency? Let's look at the evidence right here. Go to the 37-second mark. 37-second mark. What do we have here? It shows Ripple China very clearly. And it shows CNY. What is a CNY? CN is short for China. CN is the country code. It's China. And then what's Y? Yuan. Y-U-A-N. What do we have here, Crypto Hawk? November 2013, Ripple went into China and made their CBDC. It's called the Chinese Yuan. No other channel has this except me. And that's the end of your first article there, or your second article. Brian Naylor says, if the institutions are using XRP, number one, we don't know if they're using them right now because, and if they are, it's on private ledgers. That's the only thing we can guess. So we can't say whether they are using it or not using it. And purchases are not on the public ledger. Maybe they never will. Why would they? You really should watch my program, because a statement like that means that you have no concept of XRP at all. And but if you watch my program, you would never ask a question like that, because all these banks for 10 years and all the investment houses and these governments and on and on and on have all formed relationships with Ripple. And a lot of them have made public statements that they're using XRP and so forth. And you have it's just that I'm not going to get into that, because that's a whole history lesson on Ripple. That's for somebody who has no clue whatsoever on Ripple or XRP. And I don't have time to answer that question. You should have time to watch my show, and then that question will be answered. All righty then. Next article here. Let's go with a copy. We're going to talk about Stellar and how Stellar is massive. Now, this is what I see as very interesting. You have Circle coming out yesterday telling everybody, yeah, somewhere in June, we're going to IPO. And then the very next day, which is today, they're IPOing. Just like that, all of a sudden. Let's take a look. Circle Internet Financial will reportedly file its prospectus for an initial public offering in late April. That's totally incorrect, because now all of a sudden they just IPO'd all of a sudden. So who is this? Payments, P-Y-M-N-T-S. I normally like Payments, news source, but it seems like okay, we're back here, Crypto Hulk. We got kicked off the internet by YouTube again. So what I was getting into was Circle in MoneyGram, and I'm sorry, not MoneyGram, Circle in the stock market. So I don't know how much of this you actually saw. I'm just going to post the article again. So what happened was this. Payments is a crypto news organization, and they were posting that just some information that's just not quite accurate. But here's the deal. Here's what I wanted to show you. Circle, the technology, runs on different cryptos, okay? Circle itself, the stable coin and their technology, just signed an agreement with the New York Stock Exchange. So, like I'm telling you, if you can get Circle stock now, because they just IPO, that would be a very, very good idea. Because I want to tell you why. The stock market is going to run on Circle. That means its use case is going to be massive. That means it's going to require a lot of Circle, the stable coin, to process transactions. That means you might have billions of dollars a day of Circle that's going to be needed. Now, Circle runs on different cryptos. One of those is Stellar. That's a crypto that I think you should probably get right about now. Let's do a copy paste. Right there. Experience the power of USD Circle on Stellar. USD Circle on Stellar combines the power and inclusivity of the Stellar network with one of the world's most widely used dollar digital currencies. USDC on Stellar enables seamless, near instant, low-cost payments, cross-border payments. Okay, now why is this such a big deal? Okay. You've got the New York Stock Exchange publicly saying they're going to run on Circle technology. Now, there's different cryptos that make up Circle. One of them is Stellar, okay? Oh, Crypto Hulk, it could be any of those cryptos. Do they all settle in 2 seconds? Well, no, they don't, Crypto Hulk. That's one reason why I think you should invest. You should get this Circle IPO stock. But let's say you don't want to. I just want to get cryptos instead. Okay. Makes total sense. Let me click out of this. Here's your article right here showing us. I'm going to show you the article from today. Let me do a copy. Okay, right there. Stablecoin giant Circle files for an IPO. The stablecoin issuer Circle has filed for an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. That means they have to wait and get permission. Now, what you want to do is track this. CRCL. If you want to buy that crypto, you have to wait till it comes out. It's Charlie Roger Charlie Lincoln, CRCL. Circle is the second largest stable coin. It's behind Tether. But nothing's going to run on Tether. Tether is just like it's not even going to be functional. Now, what is different? So Circle runs on Stellar and Circle runs on other cryptos as well. That's true. Do they all settle in 2 seconds? No. Are they as cheap as Stellar? No. Are they a bridge? Do they have a bridge like Stellar? No. Here's the example right here. There's something called Allbridge. The other cryptos that Circle runs on don't have Allbridge. What is Allbridge? It's a bridge that connects Stellar, Ethereum, Solana, Celo, and Polygon. Do these other cryptos that Circle uses run and have a bridge? No. Do they settle in 2 seconds? No. Are they as cheap as Stellar? No. Does Circle run on other cryptos? Yes. I totally admit that. But they don't have what Stellar has. So, therefore, when Circle accepts the job of running the stock market, it's going to need a bridge, isn't it? Yes, it is. And it's who's Circle going to pick for that bridge? It's going to be Stellar. So that means the use case for Stellar is going to go nutso. There you have it. See? So just because Circle IPOs doesn't mean you have to buy. You can buy Circle stock if you want, CRCL, when it opens up. That would be an option. I don't see the stable coin going up in value because it's a stable coin. But what I'd also see, whenever this deal goes through and it starts to work, the use case for Stellar is going to go up considerably. I can't tell you what the price is going to be. When it's fully up and running and shit, I mean, 30 cents, it can't work on 30 cents. So look, as it matures, the market matures, as more and more the stock market runs on Circle, the more and the more price of Stellar is going to go up. That's how this works. What I see happening is maybe Circle takes 1% of the stock market, runs it. That seems to work. Circle takes 5%, runs it. After a certain period of time, that works. Circle takes 10%. See what I mean? Does that for 3 months. No issues. 15, 20, 25, 30. And over time, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, speeds it up. 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Now, I don't know what percent of all the New York Stock Exchange is going to run on Circle. Maybe it's half. Maybe it's a third. Because remember, you got the XRP in there. And Axelar, you got Ripple's Axelar partner in there too, right? It's also a bridge, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Ethereum Virtual Machine Bridge. So now you got retail bridge, which is Stellar's All Bridge, which is Circle. And then you're going to have a wholesale bridge, which is Ripple's Axelar. I can't tell you prices and when that's going to happen. So that's just, we all have to just kind of wait on that. But I want you to be aware of options. Let me look here. Let me delete that article. Delete that one. Here's your evidence right here. Circle is going to be linking up with the New York Stock Exchange. Here's your article right there. You can read that. See, that's right there. That's massive, right? These other cryptos that Circle runs on, the other cryptos that Circle runs on don't have this. None of them. Here you have a pathway for Circle to integrate USDC into major new use cases. See, we also, I can't tell you the value of what this is going to be because we have new use cases that nobody's known before. How are we supposed to predict stuff? So what you do is this. Right now, I'm showing you well in advance. 3 years from now, 5 years from now, people watching Crypto Hawk be like, damn, that dude knew that Stellar is going to have this massive, it might be doing 10 different things. You might see $5,000 Stellar. I don't know. $1,000 Stellar. I have no idea what the price is going to be. It's not going to be 30 cents. It's not going to be $500. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be like at least 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 maybe. I don't know. Because look, this ain't going to be the only stock market. Oh, shit. You're right, Crypto Hulk. I want you to think, what if, okay, we got the 6th digital exchange in Switzerland running crypto. You got the London Stock Exchange going to be running crypto. All this shit's going to be Stellar and Axelar. Then you got the XDC in there. Cryptos. So what I want you to do is get away from price. I want you to see real world use case. Right now, you're so early. We're talking about this before the technology is even here to do it. You're wanting to be rich. I'm showing you you've bought a crypto, you've bought a security token, whatever it is we have bought before it's even in use. We're ahead. You're so far ahead. It's frustrating, I know. It would be like right now us going back 500 years in the world and saying, where's my fucking phone? People are like, what? You know, I talk into this thing. I go like this. I put it here and I can talk to my friend and we can see each other. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? This is where you're at. Okay. Now, let me show you all this technology. A lot of it has all been invented already. Maybe they're finding better ways to use it. Let me give you an example. This is kind of at the tail end of the show. Is Ripple Singapore. Go to the 2-minute, 16-second. 2-minute, 16-second. What do we have here? It's called Ripple Singapore. Gold and silver in your wallet. Look, everybody, all this shit was already invented like 11 years ago. You see the Ripple logo, right? And it says Ripple, and then it says Singapore. Then it says gold and silver in your wallet, okay? Next, go to the 3-minute, 51-second mark. 3-minute, 51-second. What does Ripple Singapore have? Gold, silver, crypto. It's an exchange. It has commodities, securities, fiat. Like, are you hearing me? This is a stock market right here. This is your stock market right here. These are concepts. Right when we're looking at this here in 2014-ish, maybe Ripple didn't have that, but a year or two later they did. This is what this is. These are concepts are applicable. That's what this is. The Ripple Singapore, the exchange with the gold and silver and the crypto and the money and all that stuff, they're saying that commodities and securities, you can use these as well. And what they didn't add is when they're tokenized. That tokenization probably hadn't occurred back in 2014. What I'm showing you here is a prediction from Ripple. They knew where this all was going. Maybe they didn't have tokenization back then, but they knew in a year or two, they would know how to turn something into a token. That's property. Maybe they didn't have the technology, but they knew it's a concept. See, it's a concept. And if they work on the concept 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, they knew where this is going. Okay, this is what I'm showing you here. And where are we at as far as time? I got a little bit more time, about 5 more minutes. Let me look at the comments here. Chad Cord, Chad, you're exactly right. Chad says, we're all holding giant uncut diamonds. Yes, you are. I'm showing you all this stuff that they had planned. Maybe they didn't have everything 100%, but they knew, like when you work on stuff, you know, it might take you a year, 3, 5 years to get this. Technology will come. You have to build stuff, then somebody else builds on what you made, and then somebody else builds on what top of they made. Then you have a paradigm shift. Look, I'm not getting into all this, but that's how this happens. To simplify it, you're in early, okay, before all the stuff is taken off. I'm showing you Circle, runs on Stellar, 2-second transmissions, 0.0004 cents to do. That's almost free. We got a bridge called All Bridge. It's linking up all these cryptos. XRP's got the same kind of bridge, links, everything's coming together. You're just early. You want to be rich. I want to be rich. Guess what? We have to just wait. It's better to just know you've already won. Now you just have to wait. It's better. There's all these people who have no idea what I'm talking about right now. If I were to get the average person and sit them next to me, they'll be listening to me like, what the hell is this guy talking about, right? These people don't know. You're one of the very few. Why do you think they glitch my channel out? Why do you think they delete my, they take me off the air 3 to 4 times an hour? Because we're getting close. They don't want people to watch this program. They want you fucking broke. That's what they want. Last article. We're going to talk about BlackRock real quick. BlackRock that is tokenizing real world assets. Okay, you got BlackRock, and it goes into the United Kingdom. But here's the problem. The world doesn't want BlackRock to take over. So what the United Kingdom is doing is letting BlackRock into crypto, into their country. But the United Kingdom is kind of like putting handcuffs on BlackRock. Because really, like, here's what would happen. If you didn't stop BlackRock, they'd get into everything and then own the entire world, kind of like they do already. And it would not be a good situation. So what the United Kingdom is doing is they have it set up here. BlackRock managed to land on the Financial Conduct Authority's tough crypto registry. So BlackRock made it into the United Kingdom registry where you can register as a financial service company. But that's really all. They gave them a little bit extra privilege because otherwise BlackRock would come in and just take over the whole space, right? So this is what's happening. The world's biggest asset manager will be allowed to act as an arranger. So arranger for iShares digital assets, which issue exchange traded funds, a financial instrument that is pegged to an underlying asset. We got two things going on here. Look, BlackRock gets a license, but it's a very, very limited license. So they can just set up trades, but they can't actually do them. Okay. Now, what kind of trades are we talking about here? Crypto that's pegged to a real world asset. Now let's look at Bitcoin. What is it pegged to? Nothing. Do you see what the future is here? Tokenization. It's not Bitcoin. It's tokenization. Real world stuff makes the crypto valuable. That's what we're going to see right here. It says here in this paragraph, as an arranger, BlackRock will be able to arrange the execution of transactions in crypto to support ETP subscriptions between issuers and the participants. Okay, BlackRock gets permission with their handcuffed. BlackRock is handcuffed. BlackRock can work with a crypto issuer and a buyer. BlackRock is the middleman. Okay, that's what's going on here. Because if we didn't do this, BlackRock would take over the whole entire world, and the world, that would be a very, very bad thing. Okay. Now, BlackRock is using a crypto already in America. So now we're going to leave the UK. We're going to talk about a crypto very, very briefly here. It's called Ondo, O-N-D-O. This is for new people. Ondo is a crypto in America that takes real world objects and puts them into crypto. That's what BlackRock is selling. And there's that article there. Now, Ondo is a crypto, but it's also using another crypto called Axelar. Axelar is like a bridge, and it allows other cryptos to, let's say, talk to each other. It's kind of like your car has a license plate on it, so you can drive from California to Arizona and stuff. You don't need to keep switching license plates, right? That's what's going on with Axelar. It helps Ondo. So those are two cryptos you can buy at my link, Caleb and Brown. Now, Axelar, check this out, is a Ripple partner. So basically, look at this right here. You've got BlackRock, the biggest investment company in the world, is hired a company called Axelar, which is a crypto that is trying to tokenize real world assets, but it needs help. So it goes over to Axelar. Ondo goes over to Axelar and says, hey, I need help. I need a bridge. I need a bridge so I can connect all these cryptos together and tokenize. So Axelar is working with Ripple because Ripple's interoperable. And now Axelar is providing that bridge. So we got 3 cryptos here. Ondo, which is ONDO. Axelar is AXL. And then you got the XRP, which is XRP. You can buy all those on my Caleb and Brown sponsorship channel. And that is it. We are at 1 hour. Thank you for all of your research, says Grogu. Guppy. So I'm going to look around for the next couple days, and I'm going to pick another crypto, and I will put that on my next pay show. Yeah, I'll put that on my next pay show. So anyhow, I'll see you all. If I can make a show today at 5 p.m., I'll do it. Other than that, let's see. But I'm going to try my best to make another show. I'll see y'all then.